This is the Retail Trade Analysis Report for Guthrie Center. This was for fiscal year 2013. This first table actually shows 2012 and 13 and the changes that have taken place. In real total taxable sales, and keep in mind this is taxable sales, a decrease of 1.7. Number of reporting firms to Iowa, 116 versus 114, a decrease of 1.7. Population, a decrease of 0.6. Average sales per firm, decrease of 0.2. And average sales per capita, a decrease of 1.1. Total taxable sales and number of reporting firms. The top part of the chart in the box is real sales in millions of dollars. In 2004, we had 22.2, and it steadily decreased to 2007, then held about the same. Then coming into the recession, dropped down to 14 million, and it's pretty much held the same all the way through to 2013. For reporting firms in the bottom half of the chart, we see 102 in 2004, pretty level all the way through. It took a jump in 2007 and 8, and then maxed out in 2010, and then due to the recession, I assume, also dropped down into 116, and then 2013 at 114 business establishments. Real sales per capita is indicated from 2004 to 2013. The red dash is Guthrie Center. The blue dotted line is state of Iowa as a comparison. In 2004, we see that Guthrie Center was much higher in real sales per capita than the state of Iowa, but there was a constant decline through 2007. And looking back at the Guthrie County records, it appears that that drop in real sales was actually from the utilities and transportation segment. And so we're assuming that either a business moved out, like a MediaCom or a telephone or a utilities business, moved out and phased out between 2004 and 2007. In 2008 and 9, we see a recovery back up to the 2008 line, and then we see the recession taking effect, and then the last 3 years have pretty much maintained about the same, that 9,600, 400 category. The population trends compare Guthrie Center to Guthrie County and the state of Iowa. State of Iowa is in the blue dash, and you see it increasing over 10 years about 5%. Guthrie County is in the red dotted line, and you see it decreasing probably about 4% over 10 years. And then Guthrie Center, you see it decreasing about 6% over 10 years. This is another population trend chart. This is comparing Guthrie Center in the red line with the peer group average on the blue dotted line. Peer group average, this retail trade analysis groups this particular city into group number 6, which I think has 100 other groups within it, or cities, and its average population in that group is between 500 and 2,500, I believe. And so we can see that Guthrie Center, even compared to their peer groups, there's still a pretty wide margin between those. This is the unemployment rate comparing Guthrie County with the state of Iowa. We don't have numbers just for Guthrie Center, but this will give it an indication. We see that it tracks the state of Iowa pretty much through 2003 to 2010, and then it widens a bit with Guthrie Center having a little bit higher unemployment rate than the state of Iowa, and that kind of continues all the way through 2011 and 2012. Guthrie Center is in peer group number 6, which has about 100 different cities in it, populations between 5 and 2,500. This is kind of the top 10 listing of per capita sales. You can see Walcott up there, and Avoca and Elk Run Heights, and usually there's a reason, whether there's a big gas station or whatever there may be, or shopping next to an urban area. But usually there's a reason as to what's going on in those per capita sales. Now Guthrie Center comes in at 9,458. The average for the state of Iowa is 11,274, and that brings in all, of course, all areas, all cities. But I wanted to pay particular attention. Those 100 cities actually, their per capita sales is 7,530. And so you can see that Guthrie Center is actually well above the average for that peer group. This is a chart of estimated trade area capture, but it's using, the numbers are actually numbers of shoppers. And so when we take the total taxable sales and we come up with an annual figure for this peer group as the amount of dollars spent, we divide that into the gross sales, and then we end up with the number of shoppers. So the population is in blue of Guthrie Center, and the red dotted line is the estimated number of shoppers that you are serving in Guthrie Center. And so we see in 2004 you're actually pulling in, or you were servicing more than your population, and in 2013 we see just the reverse, that just slightly you have less shoppers than what your population is. This is a pull factor comparison chart, and you're being compared with your peer group. Again, that's 100 cities between 500 and 2,500. That peer group is the blue dash, and Guthrie Center is the red dot. And so this break-even, this is a type of ratio, and this break-even is figured anything above 1.1 is a surplus, anything below 1 is leakage. And so, and we'd like to be above 1.1, or at least moving in that direction. But what's interesting to note here is that your per capita sales is much better than most of your peers, as we saw in a couple slides back. You're like 7,000 was the average, and you're over 9. So this makes sense that you're really better off than the average within your peer group. And so you're not very far off from that break even of 1.1. I think you're at 0.93. So a steady increase in this pull factor comparison is what most economic developers are looking at. And with your population size, I would expect this kind of a trend. This table is the taxable retail sales for fiscal year 2013. Just for Guthrie County. So the Guthrie County total is 10,776 for population, reporting firms 437, and total sales in millions 559.9. We see the top sales in this county. We list off Adair at 12.5. We see Guthrie Center at 14.5. Panora at 25.3, and Stewart at 19.6. This is a chart of worker inflows and outflows for 2011. In the arrow to the left in the blue, we have employed in Guthrie Center, but they're living elsewhere. In the circle, we have employed in and living in Guthrie Center. And in the red arrow to the right, 572, living in Guthrie Center and employed elsewhere. You can spend some time on this chart just asking questions in regards to the two arrows. People employed in Guthrie Center and living elsewhere, so why are they living elsewhere? Is it cheaper residence and outside, or areas outside of Guthrie Center? And in the red, they're living in Guthrie Center and employed elsewhere. Well, what kind of jobs are they employed in? What can we draw our attention to that maybe we can attract into Guthrie Center? And so this particular chart, there's just lots of ways you can go with it, and discussion that you can have just on this one slide. The back end of the report for Guthrie Center is a population, and it's comparing Guthrie County to the state of Iowa. And it's breaking it down into years. So you see under 5 years, 5.5%, that's at less than the state of Iowa. Ages 5 to 10, it's more than the state of Iowa. Ages 18 to 24, less than. Ages 25 through 44 is less than. Ages 45 to 64, which is not a bad place to be, is higher than. Ages 65 and over, higher than. Median age is 44.6, and the state of Iowa average is 38.1.